Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another City Skyline experiment video where today, guys, we're going to be building the world's biggest dam anybody has ever seen in this game. We're going to pretty much stretch it across the whole of the ocean and make the ocean come from behind the dam to then filter into the rivers, the island, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be a catastrophe. It might take a gazillion hours to make this dam be filled up to its maximum capacity. But it'll be a lot of fun. And ultimately we can see how much power it's going to make. So I've got the map that I've used many times that I created myself. We've done loads of changes. This is the map that we used for the last experiment when we created that below sea level city. It's also the map we've used to do the island stuff and even draining the entirety of the whole sea. This is the map. It's huge. Let me go for this angle here. It's huge. And what I want to do is basically create a dam that stretches the whole of this map. So I've got all the tiles unlocked, pretty much. And the water from behind the dam is going to seep in to here. So we might see dramatic flooding, but I want to see how ridiculous this is going to be. So there's a few things we got to do first then. We need to make sure the dam is at a suitable level. So we need to create two sides of terrain, increase the height of it so it can structure itself correctly. I also then need to I don't know whether I should filter this off or use it. We could create a barrier, a wall that separates the two areas so we have water from that side going to flow into this side. It all sounds confusing. I know exactly what I want to do in my head, and I hope you guys do enjoy this. So if you do, smash that like button down below. If you've got any experiments that you want to suggest in the future, let me know in the comment section too. So we're going to go to the terrain now, and let's do a nice big brush size. Let's go for, yeah, that seems good. And we'll take it from this height over here. So basically the sea floor right now is at 20. If I pick it up here, it's at 120. Right, okay. Right, this is where it all now goes wrong. So if I did this here, how high is that? Do you know what? That's a good size. We got to fill for the dam. That's actually a really good size. We'll go with that then. And what we'll do is we'll bring it out so far, and this will be treated as the barrier. Okay, this will be treated as the barrier right now. So this is gonna be quite fun. And then try and get one on the same side here. Hopefully this is the similar kind of spacing for it. We'll kind of find out now. We got to free camera all this. Right, if I get over here, so it's slightly off, but it doesn't really matter too much because it will still work. It will still work. Now we have to wait a while then for. I think the water should kind of set itself. It shouldn't be too bad. It's going to cause a little tsunami wave over there anyway, but we don't mind too much. We don't mind too much. Let me see. Okay, look, it looks more off this side. Right, okay, it looks more off that side, so let's bring it down there, and then there we go. How does that now look on the other side? Haha! Perfect! Right, we wait for the water to kind of drain itself off these huge platforms that we've got going on right now. Oh, I'm just looking at the sheer size of this. This is really long. Water's going to have to seep up very high. But having these little edges there that kind of filter out, when the water does build up and come through the dam, at least it can go off and out of the place. And hopefully not cause, problems and issues for the land anyway. So let's fast forward then. Let's fast forward so we can get this water off this as quick as possible. So that one's, that one's going to be a lot more ahead of this one. And then we have to bring up the dam. So here is the dam. And if I was to build it across, dear God, that would cost us normally 3.5 million. Million, I tell you. That's ridiculous, isn't it? Don't you think that is just ridiculous? That platform just feels a whole lot bigger than this one. We can fine tune him anyway. It doesn't really matter. Okay. So I think we should just go and do it. We should just literally go and do this right now. So let's start here then. And we'll bring it from about there. And then we'll... Oh, is it going the right way? We're going to make sure it kind of does... Oh my goodness. This is huge. Guys, this is ridiculous. This is huge. So 3.8 million. I drop down. Now that seems ridiculously big. And I feel like it's too far away right now, isn't it? It feels too far away. So can I delete it? Is it easy to delete? Where's the middle bit? Right, delete that. Right. Hold on. We have to do some more terraforming right now. We've got to get this perfect. So I think we'll bring it... We'll take this level here. I think we'll bring it up to here. So again, it's all about that fine-tuning. And I've kind of figured out if you kind of do this diagonal there and this diagonal there, it kind of fits in with the curvature of the dam. So, right, it would work, but I think because we have the water. Oh, wow. Okay, this can cost us, yeah, there you go, 4 million. That just cost us to build this dam. Right, that is our dam now created. Let's get rid of this. We no longer need this. And it's going to take a very long time, a very long time to get the water flowing through. We might even have to play around with the terrain as well. So the water flows through, but we'll find out once the water behind the dam has backed up. Oh, dearie me, we have issues with... We're going to have issues with the boats there, but what can you do about it? What can you do about it? Right, let's bring our brush size down. And let's just like, you know, slightly, not fine-tune it, but let's slightly fine-tune it. Right, there we go. We don't really mind too much about the edges, right? I think we're just happy to get away with these. I just want to kind of create more of a dip here. So the more surface I unveil over this side, the more water that can float in. Good. Right, okay, so it's now created. It's probably going to take 1 million years for the water over here to be high enough level to seep into this area. But this is all going to be part of the fun. So, oh, let me select the dam. So it's producing nothing at the moment. We do have unlimited money on, so we're not going to run out of money anytime soon. It'll be interesting to see how much this drains, if it does drain at all. And we might have to place a bunch of water sources on this side to kind of help it and build it all up. So, yeah. I think that is first probably going to be the best option for us. So, water sources that we do have, let's place... Right, let's place them like kind of over here a little bit. And how high can I make it? Right, as high as I can there. And then place one here. And then put the water source as high as I can there. So that's going to create pretty much... Well, hopefully huge tsunami waves. I don't know if it will. We have to place a ton of these water sources down just to kind of build it all up. But we'll see how it goes in the long run. It's kind of still filtering. We've still got ripples or waves. So I think what I'll do then is we'll place down as many as we can. So I'm just going to make them just ridiculously high. Loads of them. The more water sources, the more water there's going to be around here. And if we get them all to the edge, it kind of creates that small barrier, so to speak. But then the ones in the middle will be the ones that kind of then start to filter up and add that bulk of water coming in. So let's get all these up. It's going to be so many water sources. I can already see the ripples of waves that's occurring right now. It's going to be magical. Right, we'll get these to start with, and then we'll see how many more we're probably going to need. And yeah, we're going to need a lot more. We'll see how many more we need over time. But I think that's a good start, right? So all those little ripples right now bringing in extra water. Which is good. We just have to play the waiting game. We're literally going to have to play the waiting game. So here's the two sides. They're literally even right now. There is nothing different. So it's now literally, like I said, a freaking waiting game until all of this over here. So as you can now see, it's started to become noticeable how the right side is now higher than the left side. So it's actually working. It's actually working. It's not really, you can't really tell that much, but you can really tell when you look at the levels of the land here. Now, I just placed down more water sources around the borders to make the bulk of the water stay inside. I don't think this is producing any electric at all. No, not yet. Nothing's flowing through just yet. Still got a while to go with that. But I'm thinking as well, if this doesn't work out, the next thing I can do is border off all of the edges with land. So this becomes like a big lake. And that will really then start to fill it up if the water's flowing out of the map too quick. But we'll see. Let's view it. Look at this. Wow, look at this side here. This is great. This is really now starting to increase. Now, I'm starting to think, right, even if it does work, right, even if it does work and it does let water flow through, is it going to let enough water flow through for the amount of build-up and backup that's behind it? And I actually don't think it's going to. Everyone, I'm starting to think it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, but the water is dramatically rising. And at some point, it needs to start thinking about filtering it all through. Okay, we can look at water flows, can't we? How do we place down one of these? Yeah. So you can see where the water's flowing. It's all flowing outside of the map. It's all going like left and right. So nothing is actually coming through just yet. But it's only a matter of time. Right, guys? Right? A lot of it looks kind of high up here anyway, because I'm just placing a bunch of water sources down by the side, but we'll see how it goes. The progression right now is looking pretty good. It is a huge, look at this, from the distance over here, it is a huge seawall. It is a huge barrier. This sea here is running dry slightly. The shoreline's dipping back a bit because there's not enough water coming in. Oh dear. Right, okay, still not producing anything yet, but again, it's not high enough. It needs to be a lot higher in the center, but only time can improve that. Right, some major improvements have happened, and there's now a tsunami coming, as you can now see. Probably wondering, Seniac, what have you done? Why is there a tsunami? Why is there also a sideways tsunami that way? That's because I started to realize the water wasn't building up in the middle. And that's because it's flowing out the sides too much, so I kind of put like a little land barrier going around. A little bit hard to see on the edges, but you can see the water. Let me do it this way. It's better this way. No, is it better that way or this way? It's better. There we go. So you can see that the kind of water barrier going around there. Some of it's still overflowing, but I'm just waiting for it to kind of settle down, which has created this thingy. So I'm hoping we're creating like this semi-lake. I've still given these little gaps here just for the meantime, because I don't want to kind of flood the dam. So I'm gonna let some water drip out for a second until, you know, this tsunami hits and we see what happens. Okay, it's gonna overflow. It's gonna overflow quite dramatically, but behind the tsunami, the water is at a reasonable level. So I think it's actually producing. Wow, it's actually working. But I think that's just mainly down to the fact that we have a huge tsunami in it right now. It will turn itself off in a minute anyway. But it seems to be filtering some of the water through, which is good. Which is very good. But a lot of this water, again, it is the tsunami hitting it right now. So once that settles down, it shouldn't overflow too much. Yeah, it's going over to the sides right now. Ships are going to be having a whale of a time. But I've got the water pretty much high on this one side. Is it still working? Look at 1,200 megawatts. That is a ridiculous amount of power right now, guys. That is a ridiculous amount of power. I just got to wait for this tsunami to settle. And then to see if I can maintain a good enough flow of water coming through. So, yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Where's the middle of it, by the way? Have I lost the middle of it? It's here, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. 1,600 megawatts. You've seen that right there, didn't you? Look at that. 1,600 megawatts. That is powerful. This is a powerful dam right now. Right, it seems to be slowing down quite dramatically, so I think this is where it now turns off because it's being overflooded. It's actually not working no more. It's being overflooded. Oh no, look look at that. That is hilarious. That is now washing everybody away, so we almost got there, guys. Hopefully we can settle it a little bit better. Should I put like sea walls and flood walls around this? Let's see. Hold on. Where's my water? Oh, it's in this one, isn't it? Right, water, flood walls. So if I was to, like, for example, build that to there. keep this going. And I can't really merge it in. Well, I can merge it in if I did this. Right, that creates the flood wall. Now, will it keep water in? Yeah. Yes, it will. So hopefully, yeah, it's pretty much sorted that out there, that barrier. So it's going to push it in one direction or the other. We're still over flooding. Right? The cruise ship there was like a skateboard riding a half pipe or something like that. Right, is that still working? Okay, not really, but water's flowing through. It's not really working. Right, let's get this one set up now with some flood walls. There we go. Let's just keep it going. Boom. So, again, you just got to wait for it to settle itself. That is literally all you can do. Is wait for it to settle itself. Now, what I'm thinking is the entrance here for the sea, it's at a certain level, isn't it? Well, again, it's at 20. So if I put it at 0 and make this dip down, and then that would be then treated as a funnel to get the water out of this area. And if I do the same on this side as well, so it would be treated as a funnel to get the water out, if that makes sense. So the water will all flow in either direction to get out of here, pretty much. So if I just create like a wide enough basin there. And hopefully anyway. So to see the flood walls on this side seem to work. It's still flooded here and there. Is it actually working? It's not working right now, but it is being dramatically over flooded. But we can sort that out over time. It's getting somewhere because we've managed to contain this side as well, which is good. It's pretty good. Water now should flow out once it's all sorted itself out. Wow! Look at that! It's right in it's right in the half pipe again, guys. Look at that! It's grinding across the rails, doing wall rides right now. This is some pretty extreme sailboating right now, guys. You ever been on a cruise ship that's done a wall ride before? You haven't, mate. Not until you come to this city. I'm not sure what it's doing. I don't even think it knows what it's doing itself. And then I think this is where it crashes. Boom. Oh dearie me. Oh dearie me. Right. We're going to try and let it sort itself out right now. So we can reduce the amount of flooding. Once this water at this side as well sort itself out to know which direction of flow it's got to go in. And I think we should be good. Wow, look how much it's flooded over here. This is shocking. This is shocking. But it's going in the right way. We can't complain that it's not. It is going in the right way, so, you know. We gotta see. Look at the water's now retreating on this side. Whew. It's touch and go, guys. It's literally touch and go right now. The shoreline is up here. Oh my goodness me. Right, you working yet? Of course you're not. You're over flooded still. You're over flooded still. So we'll see how we. Oh no, it's flooded over here too. Dear me, guys. We'll have to get rid of some water sources. We'll see how it goes. We'll give it another 10 minutes. And then see where we are once this outside here is sorted itself out. So I think we can say that the water's now retreated. Yeah. It's still got a long way to go. The shoreline is ridiculous. Look how much sand there is. So hopefully the grass grows greener and we can kind of see where it actually then falls. So the water's dipping out right now. We've kind of created deeper basins, stuff like that, so we're going to see where the water flows. The dam's working. It's now actually working. There's no overfills, no overspills, nothing too scary. It works beautifully. So we're going to see where the new shoreline now begins, because we can see a lot of sand coming through this water. It's very thin. This water's very thin. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over time. It's a little bit deeper over here. This is where it kind of dips down into the next kind of, to filter out the next terrain level, should I say. So, how much power is this now producing? That's the question. It's producing, 800 megawatts. That's really good. Not the, thousands and thousands and thousands it was doing before. But then again, Do I risk it? Do I risk increasing the water flow behind? Or do you reckon this is good enough? I mean, this could... Well, it's gone down to 600, 700. It's substantial enough to kind of power a small town. Not a huge city if you wanted to go down that route. But then again, this has taken up so much space, you ain't got much room to build a huge city anyway. Some of the grass is now starting to grow back in some of these areas, so it'd be really cool to see where the new coastline is, unless it kind of returns to the original coastline. And then I'll probably place down like a seawall or one of them keys, you know, to kind of block off the water. But this is going great, mate. This is going great. 10 out of 10. Want to build again. So yeah, so what we're up to now then. 300. Oh, is it slowing down? Is it? Yeah, I think it could be slowing down. 250. It could be slowing down like to the point where it's about to turn off. Oh no, is it going back up? No, it's going down. No, back up. No, down. Back up. Down. 160 was its all-time. Whoa, it's okay. It's getting lower and lower and lower. It's not because the build-up over here is not as high anymore, is it? I think we need to increase the water on this side. Right, what's it up to? 80. Why? It's actually going to turn off. 1632. Once it reaches 0, that's when we have to like kind of. Oh no. Yep. Okay. It's not operating no more. Right. I feel like the water. Yeah. I feel like the water's a little bit low on this side. So do I kind of increase it a little bit? I can put a couple of water sources here. We put one there. One there. I did take a couple away. One there. Just to kind of, you know, try and even out the water flow. Now this might actually create overspills again. But we'll see. I mean, it's constantly on. It's working. It's just not operating. So it could be that the water's getting a bit too low now. But how's this water over here coping? Does it seem to be coping okay? I think it is. So is it possible now to put some keys down? So the water here. And drop these keys here. Is these keys going to be enough? Are they? Or should I have done sea walls? Also, they're not doing what I want them to do. Bring these brush size down here. You know, like have that sharp edge. Suppose we could do it like that. We could just brush it down ourselves. I think I've got like a mod where you can place these keys anywhere. So I think that's what the issue may be. Alright, anyway, we can push it up to there then, so it creates that wall. But I feel like that's not going to be enough. Because the way it's now put... Oh my goodness me, it's overflowing again. That could just be the initial tsunami that brings... Because I placed down those new water sources. So I don't know whether these are good enough. I mean, they seem to be holding up. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of an overflow here and there, just for the sake of, you know, the water trying to sort itself out, because we did just do some, like, terraforming. Right. I'm hoping this is the right place to put them. If not, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. We're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Now, that seems reasonable. It seems like the right height. I would just have to kind of do stuff like, oh no, that's too deep. Right, is that at 20? Just smooth it off in certain areas, and then this one. Push it down. And then we'll have to do the other side as well, because we're creating these big, oh yeah, we're creating these very big dips here. Which is going to store water itself. But that can be like treated as like the little backup if it goes over. We're flooding again. We are flooding again, but that's probably mainly down to... Is this now working? No, it's still not working. Right, I think those keys are the wrong thing to do, isn't it? Yeah. Right, let me get rid of those. Let me get rid of them. They are probably the wrong thing to add in. Right, let me select them all. And say hasta la vista to them. Oh wow, I didn't realize I placed so many down. Right, delete. They're goners. They're goners. Maybe we do sea walls instead. Maybe. I don't 100% know. The wall's not flooding anymore, but it seems to be coming through this. So why was it working at the beginning, but it's not working now? That's a good question. That is a very good question. Now, the water flow, let's just take a look at it in general. It is all flowing out. It's going in the right directions, but it's not flowing out quick enough to skedaddle and get out of here, if that makes sense. It's as if, like, it's got down to this level, it's even, and it doesn't want to disappear anymore. So we have to do something quite amazing, aren't we? Right, we'll figure this out. I think we've managed to self-contain it right now. It's flowing through beautifully. I put seawalls all the way around the edges to where the original seawall bed was, but you can now see that the shoreline's now even reduced a lot further. And what I did was, which was I thought was quite smart. Remember when I had those little dips in? Well, I made an even lesser dip towards the edge. So it means that the water flows, dips down, and instead of just building up here, it dips down again, but at the edge of the map. So it literally flows out. Now, the water flow doesn't look too dramatic because, quite frankly, there's not that much water there. It's just literally what's coming out of here. Because it's no longer coming back in, it's going out. So this shoreline was kind of flooded for quite a while, but it's now kind of starting to come back too. And I did the same over here as well. Kind of put the little drop there. And it's a little bit more dramatic over here. So it has the first little drop around about here. And the second drop there. So the water is constantly flowing out of the region rather than in. And this is going great. This is absolutely going great. The only doubt thing is it's not making any power. I don't know why. I don't know how. It just all of a sudden, since it stopped, it just doesn't work anymore. So I'm not too sure why. It worked all this long time, and you can obviously make the argument, well, the ground over here needs to be higher than this ground. But the argument was, like, you know, it worked before, why is it not working now, kind of thing. But we can try something like that. We could try something like that, but it really isn't going to make any difference. It is flowing through beautifully, but it's not producing any power. So why don't we kind of give that a little bit of a go. So we'll put it up to, let's say, 25. Now, is that too high? No, that is a reasonable height. So 25 here. It's going to flood it a little bit. But let's see. So, still no power. There's not really much you can do about that, is there? There's not much you can do about that. Granted, I could actually make this side even lower, like down to 0. And create like this little puddle that it flows from. Now, there we go. This when you think you have the game sorted out, it goes and throws something like that there. Now the question is, once it's kind of settled, will it retreat and go back to not kind of producing? Or do you reckon that will solve it? Hopefully that will solve it then, because if that does solve the issue, then we've got a brand new wave coming through of water right now, which is going to hit these sea walls, which hopefully they can handle the pressure, the blockage. This is now producing over 1,000 megawatts, which this is enough to actually keep a city functional. But at what cost? At what cost? A lot of terraforming. $4 million it cost us to build this dam. And all I can say is, god damn, it's huge. It is freaking huge. But I think we're going to end it for here anyway, guys. We built the world's biggest dam, and it is glorious. It stretches one side of the map to the other. It is amazing, guys. It is absolutely freaking amazing. Hope you guys did enjoy this episode. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. So good.